Hi folks, welcome to RJA Impact. Today we're going to be doing a deeper dive and talking about the Pfizer document that was presented to the court in week 9 of the Holmes Theranos trial. You can search this channel for previous week's updates and also for a more detailed video on the background to Theranos and Holmes' journey to the point at which the trial commenced. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and also hit the notification button so that you don't miss out on future videos when they are published. So let's get to it. We first heard about a Pfizer document in the prosecution's opening speech several weeks ago. Now in that speech, US Attorney Bob Leach told jurors on September the 8th that a report with Pfizer letterhead that Holmes provided to Walgreens had been secretly drafted at Theranos to endorse its technology. Pfizer did not write this, he said. Pfizer did not put its logo on this. Pfizer did not make the conclusions in this report. In fact, it came to the opposite conclusions. Okay, so this document is one that we know was sent to the DeVos family, as we heard about in the testimony of Lisa Peterson during week 9 of the trial. When questioning Lisa, the clear inference was made that this was a document sent by Theranos to a potential investor, which then led them to believe that this was an endorsement by Pfizer. So firstly, understand that the document we are referring to is included in a data pack sent to the DeVos family, and this was after they'd signed a non-disclosure agreement, but before they had made the final decision to invest. We can actually see what the DeVos family's takeaway on this particular fact is from one of their own internal review documents. Here note RDV is the investment corporation for DeVos, and we can see that it was authored by Lisa Peterson, who was in court in week 9, and this document was written in October 2014. So clearly this is a takeaway based on a meeting which we know was between the DeVos family, Lisa, Holmes and Balwani. If we scroll slowly, you can see the kind of things that were being communicated. I wanted to get to this part of this memo, and here let's read this out. Theranos has been comprehensively validated over the last 9 years by the 10 largest pharmaceutical companies. So let's be clear, if this was fabricated, the only place that these facts or fabrications could have come from is Holmes. We can see from Lisa's email attaching the document where she says, I also try to incorporate a high-level overview of the key parts of everything I've read in the materials she sent. In other words, that was Holmes. The data pack itself is a lengthy tome. Indeed, it's a PowerPoint of 187 pages in sometimes very dense detail with medical test data and other detail. Interestingly, there are certain manual notes and highlights made, which I believe were put there by the prosecution. As I scroll forward through the first few pages, you can see these, and these do mirror points that were raised in Lisa's questioning by the prosecution. The Pfizer report itself is included in this data pack. Let's go through to page 103. This says, exemplary reports from pharmaceutical partners. That is the first point I want you to consider. The language is very clear to me. What follows is a report from a third party and not something internal to Theranos. Now let's look at the first page. We see the title of the report, Theranos Angiogenesis Study Report. I don't think that the subject matters too much. It is the authenticity of the document and what it is saying that is in question. But for what it is worth, angiogenesis is defined as follows. Angiogenesis is the formation of new blood vessels. This process involves the migration, growth and differentiation of endothelial cells which line the inside wall of blood vessels. Well, there you go. I had to look that up, and I learned something today at least. Let's also note that both Pfizer and Theranos logos are on top of the document, and we've already heard in the trial that no one in Theranos was given permission to use Pfizer's logo, and also the Pfizer logo is in the preeminent position top left. Now this is a 25-page document, and we can see from the document outline that while some of this is very specific to angiogenesis, it does mention introduction to Theranos, background to Theranos studies, and economic impact of Theranos systems to pharma, so it encompasses wider parts of Theranos than just this study. Now, let's pull out some individual phrases on the technology. Here, accurately, rapidly and effectively. Here, eliminates the noise ... of conventional tests. On the economics. Here, every day gained in getting a brand new brand to market can be measured in millions of dollars. Here, Theranos systems revolutionise those timeline constraints. Faster approvals and studies, rapid access to multiple markets, amelioration of safety concerns, blah blah blah, and so it goes on. 180 to 540 million in savings, 50% cost reduction. Now, I'm not going to go into the rest of the data, which is very detailed and refers to the angiogenesis program specifically. You can get some flavour of this with these couple of extracts. Here a chart, here's some tables, here's some verbal analysis. When we get to the conclusions page though, we do see some favourable comments. General. The Theranos system performed with superior performance. Technical. Inter-system accuracy is excellent. ... Superior performance specifications. Economic. Robust functionality of Theranos systems. Well, if that doesn't convince you that this was a favourable report, I don't really know what will. Conclusion. Well, let's go through this from the prosecution's perspective. We have investors. Tick. We have data presented to them. Tick. The data is clearly incorporated in documents where the investors are making an investment decision. Tick. The data came from Holmes. Tick. The data purports to be from a third party. Tick. Investors made a decision to invest and wired money as a result, and we saw this in prior weeks. Tick. Now, the final point that the prosecution need to make is for someone at Pfizer to say, no, this is not their document. At this point, it will be evident that it was fabricated and that Holmes knew about it. The chain of evidence will then be proven. Now, whether this will be the document that the prosecution calls for someone to say, it is not ours, or is another one, or is one amongst many, is yet to be seen. But this is very key in the overall trial prosecution. And I mention this because don't forget that the document that the prosecution talked about in their opening statements was one presented to Walgreens. So, question for you. If you had been an advisor to the DeVos family, would you have thought this was an independent document? Or something that Theranos themselves wrote? You decide. I hope you found this slightly deeper dive into one element of the trial informative and useful. And if so, then thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the notification button so that you don't miss out on future videos when they are published.